Welcome to Women's College Volleyball on ESPN. It is championship time. Leave it all out on the floor. Just one team going home with the Southwestern Athletic Conference Tournament Championship. Welcome to Itta, Mississippi. Here is how we got here for the SWAC Volleyball Championship. Alabama State is the 5 seed, knocked off 2 teams that were seeded better than them. They will now take on the 2 seed in Prairie View A&M. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dawn Davenport, alongside 3-time All-American Bailey Webster, outside hitter, if you can't tell by the height difference. Bailey, also a national champion with the University of Texas in 2012. Let's talk about championships, because it doesn't matter what kind of championship it is. There are a lot of emotions that go into a game like this.
You're right, Dawn. This is a huge match for any player that wants to play growing up playing sports. But not only this, they get a bid to the NCAA tournament, but if Prairie View wins, it'll be their first title since 2006. And if Alabama State wins, it'll be their 4th consecutive title.
How about that? So this is what happened yesterday. Alabama State came in as a 5 seed after a slow start to the season. They defeated 4 seed in Southern and then upset the 1 seed in Alabama A&M. 3-1 the final there. That is how they ended up here. Now for Prairie View on the other side, here's a look at their semifinal matchup. They faced Jackson State twice this year. Could not beat them, but man, did they take care of business in the semifinals. A 3-0 sweep of the team that they could not beat all year. This is a sweep appearance for them. Now, for Prairie View A&M, head coach Tacho Tyler told us that for them to have success, they have got to slow down Bailey Bennett, who just gets things done for Alabama State.
That's right. Bailey Bennett is a senior leader for Alabama State. She's carried them throughout the season up to this championship match. She had 16 kills against Alabama A&M in the semifinals, and she's just honored first team All-SWAC. She'll be key to this Alabama State's offense.
Well, guess what? There's another one of those on the other side as well, but this one out of the middle, and it's Victoria Pearson.
Victoria Pearson is the go-to player for the Lady Panthers with 2.88 kills per set, leading the Panthers in kills on the team and second in blocks. Being that they run a lot of their offense through the middle, she will be a catalyst if they want to win today.
Well, here we go. I tell you what, these teams are ready to play, and so are we. Let's get things underway in Itta, Mississippi, as we are ready to start the Southwestern Athletic Conference Championship. Alabama State starts us off and will serve, but it is Prairie View A&M that gets the first point.
As we mentioned, Prairie View runs a lot of their offense through the middles, and right there, Victoria Pearson leading the team in kills. She will be a big part today if she's doing that.
And she's back on the service line. Victoria Pearson hitting .306 for that team right now. Alabama State, though, getting it back with a smart heads-up play, a nice tip that finds the floor.
Might be a battle of the middles today.
I think both of these teams feel like whatever works, they're all in.
And I will say both teams are pretty evenly balanced. They work their offense to the middle, but as well, they're very strong on the pins on both sides of the ball.
Well, Tamara Armstrong answering back with a tip of her own. By the way, you might notice that both of these teams are wearing black uniforms right now. There's a little bit of a communication issue. Prairie View A&M supposed to be in white. Whenever they figured out they had the wrong jersey, their bus driver was not around, so could not switch. So that's why we have 2 teams in black uniforms for this championship game right now. Erica Jimenez pushes that ball outside. A big block from Alabama State. Wow! What an up from the Hornets to keep this rally going. The slide, and that's met by a big block from the Hornets.
Great hustle plays on both sides of the ball. As you see there, Erica Jimenez running the offense for Prairie View, but Alabama State getting it done, playing steady defense and just letting Prairie View make the mistake.
Well, it looks like Alabama State head coach Penny Lucas White. Some questions, wanting to make sure they had the right server. You're looking there at Tacho Tyler, and there's Coach White. They in fact do, and we are back underway. push it to the outside, and there's the deep corner.
Bailey Bennett once again has showed up for this team throughout the entire season. One of the seniors for the Alabama State, and right there, just bringing that power down through seams.
Bailey Bennett with a team-high 16 kills in their semifinal win over Alabama A&M, had 9 digs. She's had 15 double-doubles and has led this team in kills in 17 games. Clearly the stabilizer, and that's what Penny Lucas-White told us, that she has to be their stabilizer for them today. And she's certainly getting it done, Bailey. Touch there.
Although it seems like the ball hit the antenna, so it was out. Oh, it was point Alabama State.
The push outside, and another kill for the Hornets.
Coach for Prairie View mentioned that they weren't going to necessarily focus on just on Bailey Bennett, but they knew that they were going to need to slow their pins down if they wanted a chance at this match, which includes Bailey Bennett. So their defense needs to be set up to at least get a touch on her ball, because they're best when they're in serve receive.
The ace from Malaysia Young. She came in with 23 service aces on the year, an all-around threat for them. The junior out of Muncie, Indiana.
It's a really nice float. So you see there, it's going short in the middle of the court. So Prairie View's going to need to make a few adjustments, either scoot up.
Well, that pass was nails. Big block. And again, they go to the outside for Alabama State.
Prairie View definitely needs to work on closing their block and getting low and over to stop Bailey Bennett. She's looking and can read the blockers very well.
Well, Prairie View a timeout to talk about it. Alabama State leading this first set 9-3. Welcome back to the SWAC Volleyball Championship. There's Alabama State head coach Penny Lucas-White, her 9th season as Alabama State's head coach, 181 and 157. They are certainly familiar with this position. They've won 20-plus matches in each of their past 5 seasons, and they've been in this title game the last 6 years. Well, that timeout worked, and there you go, out of the middle, Hannah Estupian.
Nice swing by Hannah Estupian right there, but if you see, she has a 32-inch vertical at 5'6". She's playing middle blocker, and you don't see that too often.
It was interesting when I first started looking at the roster and watching them. I thought, she's not a middle blocker. She's 5'6". She can jump out of the gym. And she hit .455 in their semifinal win yesterday. So she is certainly effective out of the middle for Prairie View A&M. Fun to watch. A nice pickup by the Panthers. And look at that cross-court swing. That's a kill from Satara Carter.
Even though Victoria Pearson is known as the key player for Prairie View, Satara Carter is very pivotal in this. She has a great connection with setter Erica Jimenez, and as you see there, nice crossbody swing.
And Bailey, how important is it for Prairie View A&M to make sure that Satara Carter gets things going on that right side? Because they want to run their middles, right?
So important to keep her involved, because when you have a balanced offense, it keeps the defenders, the blockers, disciplined. And so they don't know which way the ball is going to go. And that really helps the middle blockers have one blocker, maybe 2, but it helps all of the hitters.
Alabama State leading 10-5 over Prairie View A&M. This is the first set, best of 5. And Carter again, this time tools the block.
Nice set by Erica Jimenez right there. It came off so smoothly. I would have loved, as I was watching, I would have loved to hit that ball. But Satara Carter knew exactly what to do with it. Coach mentioned that they just have a very good connection, and that doesn't happen as often. A lot of setters aren't comfortable setting the back right side very often. But once you have someone that is comfortable and you get points from the right side, it really can help your offense.
Yeah, Carter for Prairie View A&M and Jimenez, both seniors, both vocal leaders for this team. Coach really relies on those two players to make sure this team is ready and fired up. There's that middle, and that tip falls.
Smart play by Victoria Pearson right there. They're finding holes on the court, both teams, but especially the Lady Panthers. You don't need power on every swing right there. You just, if you catch them off guard, 9 times out of 10, you're going to score.
Great vision from Pearson on that. That ball off the net, out of system, still able to get a swing on it. And a double call for Alabama State. That'll be a point for Prairie View.
The thing that stuck out to me as a former player is that was a pretty nice bump set by Skyla Childs from the backcourt. Libero, freshman libero out of Cypress, Texas, has really controlled that backcourt for the Lady Panthers.
Yeah, and for the Lady Panthers, last year they graduated their back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year, needed to fill that slot, and Skyla Childs, number 14 for them, has certainly done it. That's not an easy position to step into as a freshman. Speaking of, look at that dig from Childs. Keeps this rally going.
She looks very comfortable out there.
And then another bump set. A nice hustle from Alabama State, but the free ball out of bounds. That's a point for Prairie View A&M, and Skyla Childs was all up in that rally. Melanie Arenas, 5'10" junior out of Texas, puts the ball in play. That's a tough one to dig up. Did you see he holds reaction to that kill? Her teammates love that.
Nice swing by Tyra Cottingham, able to really get on top of it. If you see for Prairie View, they're going to need to wait. She's almost hitting on her way down, and so they were a little early.
Push outside, nice touch on that. It will make it through the rafters, and Prairie View A&M running that quick middle. Nice up from Childs, and another swing on the outside to Mara Armstrong.
They're bringing the heat. That's all I can say. These girls are undersized, but look at the power they have at the pins. Tamari Armstrong really had some heat on that ball, and although the libero for Alabama State was doing a great job, just wasn't enough for Tamari Young.
Alabama State quiets that momentum for a second. They now lead at 13-10 in this first set. Now we do play best of 5 rally scoring. Our first 4 sets will go to 25. If there is a 5th, we'll play to 15, and you have to win by 2. Push to the outside, just long from Bennett. You see Prairie View A&M substitution. Tacho Tyler in her 5th season as head coach there runs a 6-2 offense. So now Erica Jimenez comes in, the senior, 5'1", to set from the back row for them.
One thing that Coach Tyler mentioned when we spoke to her earlier is that they want to focus on their side and can control what they can control. And so far in this set, Prairie View has done a good job of just playing steady, everyone playing their role, and just waiting for Alabama State to make mistakes.
Alabama State leading this first set 15-11. 15-12 after the service error.
Lady Panthers on ball to serve.
The quick out of the middle. Alasia Young with the kill.
Alasia Young, another go-to for the Hornets. As you see there, she transferred from Southern Idaho, but she's ready in the middle. Quick arm swing right by the setter. Great swing.
Second kill on the night, putting 667.
Carter, she's feeling it. She's talking to her teammates. Let's go, let's go. Momentum is so important in the game of volleyball, and it's not necessarily which team is better, but who can maintain that momentum for the longest through to 25.
It's interesting, too, talking to Alabama State head coach Penny Lucas-White. She said we cannot play off emotion. We have to play smart, disciplined volleyball because Prairie View A&M is a rah-rah team. They get really emotional. They get loud. We can't get caught up in it. We have to handle our business.
And you can see in the first set how different the teams are. Prairie View definitely like to cheer each other on every single point, love the energy. And Alabama State is calm and steady. They've definitely been here a few times before.
Very businesslike.
Yes.
Scrappy up from the Lady Panthers. Continues. The tip over from Mackenzie Bowman. The junior setter with a kill.
Smart play by setter Mackenzie Bowman. Coach talked about how much she's grown this season as one of the upper-class leaders. She's done a great job carrying this team along with Bailey.
Yeah, number 20 for the Hornets, Mackenzie Bowman. They're all SWAC second team setter. Had a career-high 57 assists in their upset over Alabama A&M. The Hornets try for the tip, and a nice block waiting. Satara Carter there to send that one back over.
Jakarta Hope to serve.
Jakarta Hope, the 5'4" freshman out of Texas. In on the back rows, they run that 6'2".
Also known as Boogie on Prairie View campus, along with her twin sister, Jeracia Hope, known as Tootie. So those of you that are watching to support Prairie View Panthers.
That's how they know them.
That's how you would know them.
Coach told us everybody calls her Boogie. That's it. You can call her Boogie. That's what we call her. Runs the floor well for a freshman. Has really picked up her defense lately, Coach said. She gets to the back for that set. Alabama State's able to dig it up, but that ball long, and then if you look on the Alabama State line judge, they're going to call touch. Head coach Tacho Tyler not quite sure about it. Looks like she's talking to her team, trying to find out if somebody touched it. Do you break out the challenge card?
And as you see Coach White just waiting for them to blow the whistle and start the next play.
Mm-hmm. That's Penny Lucas-White, former USA national player, played at LSU, a four-time SWAC Coach of the Year.
She has been a head coach for over 27 years at this point. So she has a lot of experience previously at Memphis before she came to Alabama State and Air Force Academy as well. Coach of the Year in 2016.
Also has 5 SWAC titles to go with it.
Very impressive resume.
Whew, what a swing from the outside. Alabama State point.
Nice hit right there by Tyra Cottingham. She is bringing the heat on the outside pins. You see Victoria Pearson needs to close in that block and not leave her the seam, because that's what she's looking for right now.
Alabama State leading 22-14 in this first set. Bailey, what are you seeing out of Prairie View A&M? They're hanging in there. They're playing defense. You know, Coach told us, hey, that's our key. Defense is what wins championships. Where do they need to kind of shore things up?
They are hanging in there. If you weren't looking at the score, you would feel it feels like they're close. It's closer than it is, and that's because they're doing a good job on their end, on their side. But blocking schemes, the outside hitters have the capability and they're having the freedom to hit wherever they want to. Whether Bailey's in the front, as you see, Cottingham has had her way with the blockers, so they really need to be disciplined on the blocking side, get touches on the ball so they can run their offense.
Now, one of the keys for Alabama State, they have served well in this match. I think it was, 3 straight aces from Malaysia Young, and that makes a difference. It was one long, it was a short floater. I mean, she was changing it up too.
And you can tell Alabama State had a game plan going into this match. They knew who they wanted to serve, and they're very businesslike. They had an agenda and they're following it, and right now it's 14-22 because they're sticking to that agenda.
Now these two split their season series. September 28th, Prairie View A&M won 3-2, and then on October 25th, Alabama State won 3-1. So we had a 5-setter and a 4-setter with these two teams. Back at it in this first set on the campus of Mississippi Valley State University for the SWAC championship. The Hornets 3 points away from closing out this first set. Emerson Bellis, the freshman libero for Alabama State, back to serve. All SWAC second team. Has had 20-plus digs in 6 games for them. Alabama State with a free ball to work with. Prairie View A&M handles it. Nice up from the back row for the Lady Hornets, and look at that, Tamara Armstrong answers with a dig of her own. Nice hustle. Prairie View A&M wins that point.
Tamia Hightower, if you see, she was not ready for that ball. She needs to make sure she gets off the net and has an approach. Prairie View likes to set that right side, but as you see there, Bailey Bennett on the other end, all over the court.
Oh, the push to the outside, a big swing from Armstrong, and a nice up from Alabama State, and they answer from the back row.
Bailey Bennett, she is getting every ball up. She's offensive, has kills coming from the back row, front row, and you can just tell she has a lot of experience. A senior leader, and it shows through her play. She knows where she wants to go with the ball.
Yeah, Bailey Bennett leading all hitters in this match with 7 kills on 11 attempts, hitting .545 right now. Set point for Alabama State. And they'll get it. Armstrong's ball out of bounds. Alabama State wins the first set 25-15. Bailey Bennett getting it done for the Lady Hornets. 7 kills in that first set. They're up 1-0. Welcome back to Itabena, Mississippi in the SWAC Volleyball Championship. Prairie View A&M in as the 2 seed. Head coach Tacho Tyler in her 5th season as the head coach here, but she became an assistant coach back in 2007 after her playing days at Prairie View A&M. Was an assistant for 7 years before she took over the role of head coach. Tough task for her against a team today that is very familiar with conference championships. Alabama State, look at that, last 6 seasons. There's a whole lot of Alabama State in there, and there's head coach Penny Lucas White, who is in her 9th year here, has 5 SWAC titles, under her name. The last one in 2018, a perfect 18-0 run, by the way, in an NCAA tourney regional appearance. She has certainly got it done. And Bailey, you're actually a little familiar with her. She was a former USA national player and then also stepped in and helped coach a little bit when you were around the national team.
Yes, 2014 when I was on the USA national team. They typically train in Anaheim, California. Coach Penny White was out there for a few days, and typically a lot of coaches come from around the world to come in and just give their 2 cents and advice on the national team. And we had a great conversation. She's very inspiring, a lot of respect for Coach White, and it's so great to see what she's done with this program.
Very impressive. She talked about the experience, by the way, of this program, of her players. Told us that basically they have that championship mindset, that nothing gets to them. They control their thoughts. They have the comfort out here. And Bailey, I think we saw that in the first set in their win, and I think we've seen that so far tonight.
I agree. Establishing a championship mindset and that type of culture for a program takes a lot, because once people come in to this program, they want anything less than winning. That's the expectation. You should not be losing. And when you can establish that culture, it really changes the game.
Well, there you go. She talked about smart play. You see it there, the vision and the ability to see the court for that kill. Prairie View A&M sends the free ball over. Alabama State sends that down.
That front court for Alabama State is having their way pretty much, as the pins, the middles are being able to do whatever they want, whether it's in the middle or hitting at the angle. And so Prairie View needs to get a little bit more disciplined and not allow their emotions to keep them out of position.
Bailey Bennett, another kill from the outside, and that all started with a perfect pass from their libero. Momentum broken from the service error. They're tied at 3 in this second set. Alabama State leads us in our best of 5, 1-0. Woo!
What a swing right there by Bailey Bennett. And what I love about her approach is that she has speed going into every swing. She already gets a lot of the balls, and so typically you may see a player take a play or two off, but every single time, whether she's getting the ball or not, she's going full speed, and you had to love that coming from a setter.
Yeah, Bailey Bennett, all SWAC first team, a 2-time first teamer. Holds the school's all-time kill record. Pretty much broke every single record, hitting record at Alabama State. 3.02 kills per set. And 3.3 digs per set. She is their go-to girl. Nice run from Alabama State and a nice up from Prairie View to keep this going. The push to the outside, and Bennett again.
I will say, I want to point out, Mackenzie Bowling waiting to do that. Bennett open with one blocker left for Bailey Bennett. And I mean, when she's hitting, you need to have 2 or at least 3 up.
Hard to stop her with just one set of hands up.
Exactly.
Look at that. You mentioned that. Again, Bolin just mixing up this offense, and Coach White told us you don't know where she's going with the ball because she's so good at balancing the offense and distributing it. And explain how hard that is for a blocker.
That's very hard. When you can't read where the ball's going, you can't tell from their shoulders if they're going to back set or go forward, or you can't tell if you can watch her eyes as well, and you can pretty much see when they're going to the middle. But when you can't read it, you have to stay disciplined. And right now, I think that's what Prairie View's lacking. They're guessing instead of staying in their position and reading the ball.
And then you're a half second late, and it's too late.
Exactly.
Lady Panthers.
And not to mention, Mackenzie Boland's just making it look so easy. If you look at her facial expression, she's so stoic that you can't tell whether she's really up or really down. And that's a great trait to have as a volleyball player as well.
I think the other thing you have to point out, as Alabama State adds another point, that one out of the middle, you have to point out she's able to run in system, and she's got all her options because the passes are right where they need to be.
You're correct. Emerson Bellis leading the backcourt has done a great job as a freshman on both ends. Skyla Childs and Emerson Bellis have done a good job as freshmen in a role like this in the championship match, just playing calm and steady and getting their setter great balls.
Coach Tyler said for Prairie View A&M, one of the keys was slowing down what they do, Alabama State does offensively, and to do that, you got to serve them tough, you got to serve them aggressive, and you got to get them out of system. Look at Bowling.
Prairie View may need a timeout coming up soon. It seems like things are somewhat unraveling, or they're starting to second guess themselves. You can look it in their face.
And you feel that, yet Alabama State just up 8-7, 1 point. But the momentum has changed. It's clear. Check out this Alabama State bench.
You have Coach Penny White dancing a little bit. The girls
It's
cheering
all
for
smiles.
Gotta love it.
They're having a ball. A nice switch up from Prairie View A&M to in that momentum. Satara Carter, the senior, getting that done.
Satara Carter and Victoria Pearson in the front row really rely on them to get things going and get the momentum back on Panthers' side.
Well, that pass out of system. They go to the back row, and Bailey Bennett. Tight ball. Yeah, not a lot you can do with that. That one right on the net.
Tara Young looking to get her teammates involved, get things going. Since the first set, she's been a leader with the energy and one of the senior leaders in making sure that she keeps her team in this match.
Nice hustle from the Lady Panthers. Keeps it alive. And what a dig from Skyla Childs. There's that defense that Coach was talking about. Add a block. Now they're in system. They have a pass. Oh, Alabama State, though. That is a punt.
Wow. That angle. I mean, that wasn't even, it was in front of the 10-foot line. That was like near the net. You could see in her face, I'm not sure if she meant to do that, but either way, it looked very good. Nice swing by Krista Medeiros. Now, she meant to do that one right there. Overpass by the Panthers, and Medeiros was waiting on that ball.
Medeiros now with 3 kills on the day. Look at the kills. Alabama State actually with about twice as many kills as Prairie View A&M.
Alabama State is running their offense very fluid. They know where they want the ball to go, and that is an ode to Mackenzie Bowling, doing a great job distributing the ball, talking to her girls, everyone in the position that they need to be in.
You know, you look at this Alabama State team, they came in this tournament as the 5 seed. We've talked about how many times they've been here. They were picked in the preseason to win this conference. They dealt with so many injuries. They started with 3 setters at the beginning of the year, lost 2 of them to injury, went from a 6-2 to a 5-1. So head coach Penny Lucas White telling us this appearance this year, maybe even a little bit sweeter because her team did not give up. She's never seen that many injuries as a coach, and as you said, she's been around 27 seasons. She said it was just a year full of adversity, and her team has responded.
You know, as a coach, you hate to start off not in the way that you spent all season, all summer long preparing for, and to see those injuries go down. But Bolin has stepped up to say that she is the 3rd setter.
It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy because she looks awesome, and
she's all SWAC second team too.
Exactly. And that's acknowledgement to their coach, Coach Penny White, and knowing how to adjust and work with what you have.
Now talking about number 20 for them, Alabama State Bolin, she did say she has grown so much over this season. She's a student of the game. She studies it. She works on her game daily. Just a ton of growth, and she is showing that here today. Oh, that one just over. Finds the floor. Prairie View A&M adds a point.
Lady Panthers.
Oh, the tip. A lot of players around it. Nobody gets a hand on it, though.
That was miscommunication right there by Alabama State, but doesn't happen too often in these first 2 sets. It's up to probably Emerson Bellis to take that ball as being one of the backcourt leaders, but once again, they're still a young team. She's a freshman. She has to make sure she's calling everyone off and taking it.
Struggle with serve receive. Nice serve from Prairie View A&M, and the Lady Panthers have pulled this to within 1. Hook, the push to the outside, and Medeiros takes care of that.
Tyra Cottingham is actually, she's been great on the outside so far this year, but she is a transfer from East Carolina. And so her first year she played at East Carolina and transferred here. She's been great for the Lady Hornets.
All right, score is correct. Alabama State leading this second set 15-13. We'll take a quick timeout. Continue play after this. Alabama State with the lead. Welcome back to Inabena, Mississippi. It has been the Bailey Bennett Show. 9 kills already on the day for her.
Bailey Bennett has been amazing. What the coach probably wanted from her, she's delivering in her senior, possibly last match, doing what she needs to do to get it done.
Yeah, the senior out of Chicago, Illinois. 15 double-doubles this season already. The school's all-time kill leader. Doesn't have any more records to break. Certainly wants to finish her senior year off strong.
And well, at this point, if it's your last year, you want to get to that NCAA tournament. You want to go in and upset some teams, and I'm sure that she has her eyes on the prize at this point.
So does Krista Medeiros. Check out this block from number 8. Up there and ready, also nice. A senior. That one falls.
Everything seemed to be going very well for Alabama State and just connecting. Sometimes some matches you have those games where everything seems to go right for you, and it seems to be that way for the Hornets.
Alex Wiggins, the junior out of Enterprise, Alabama, a Wallace State Community College transfer. Coach White actually has 3 girls on this team that are from Wallace State. JUCO transfers. They all played together, and they all came in together. She said that really helps when you're talking about chemistry and knowing each other. And that's a program out of Huntsville that has won 10 straight conference titles. Pretty strong program out of Huntsville that is familiar with winning.
They have a lot of talent there because Coach White seems to keep going back and pulling girls from that program, having a chance to play in the SWAC conference, which is a very strong conference.
Whew. That's a very strong kill.
That was. I mean, I don't ever get tired saying the name Bailey, but I am just so impressed with her. It doesn't matter whether she's playing backcourt, but in the front row, she knows when you know what you want to do with the ball, that really plays a difference, where you can see the court, know where the open spots are. She's very experienced.
She has 10 kills, but I think the number that stands out to me, just 3 errors so far in this match. So she's been efficient, consistent, and hasn't made a whole lot of errors. You know, we talk about hit percentage, and that's what is factored in. She's hitting .412 right now, which, Bailey, that's good.
Very good. And what I love about Bailey is that she doesn't try to swing on every single play. If she doesn't have it, she'll roll shot it, get the ball into a good part of the court. But you see she has strong players as well. Prairie View able to bounce back with a strong swing.
Yeah, Tamia Hightower with the kill. Lady Panthers get hands on that swing from Bailey. Nice up from their setter again. Little off speed from Bennett. Nice pickup from the Lady Panthers. That's a swing and that is an up. This rally ends out of the middle for the Lady Hornets. Alasia Young, hello.
I know, Alasia said enough with the tips. I'm gonna come and swing on it, and that's what you want from the middle. It's a lot of back and forth close to the net, and when you have a good set, swing at the ankles, not straight ahead, but exactly like Alasia Young just did.
6 kills for her. She's hitting .350 coming into this match.
Tied out, Joey, tied out, point.
Coach told us about Alasia Young, number 13, for the Lady Panthers, said, or the Lady Hornets said, she either finds a way or she's going to make one.
And that's exactly what it seems like. Very smart out of the middle. She waits when it's her time, but when it's a good ball and the set is right, she goes for it. And that's what you love. You love to have a middle like that.
Push to the outside. Prairie View A&M able to get some hands on that block and find the middle of the court. That's a couple that have dropped there.
There's way too many balls dropping in the middle of the court, and Emerson Bellis is way too close to the ball to let that drop as a libero. She definitely needs to take control and be more vocal, but I understand that that comes with more experience. As a senior, though, that should not. When she becomes a senior, that should not happen at all.
Emerson Bellis, still a freshman out of Gilbert, Arizona. She was all SWAC second team, leads them with 3.77 digs per set. Prairie View A&M hitting error.
It's interesting because Prairie View A&M was so vocal in the first set, and they've been very quiet in this second set. And Alabama State is playing off of that. As I said, you can't really tell when things are going well or poorly for Alabama State, but that's an advantage.
Side out, point.
Prairie View A&M gets the side out and the point. Trying to get some momentum going here. You saw Satara Carter, the senior, one of the vocal leaders, and coach said cheerleader, vocal leader, all in one for them. She tries to get her team going. The nice touch from Erica Jimenez, but nobody close enough to help that out.
The Lady Panthers definitely need to increase getting some touches on the ball to help out their backcourt a little bit, because it almost seems as if the Alabama State Lady Hornets just have a free net to hit wherever they'd like.
A perfect pass. They're able to run the middle, and Alabama State is ready for it. Nice block. Satara Carter setting that block.
And that was a nice pickup in the first play by Emerson Bellis, able to read and get that tip, but hey, your work's not over. Once you dig that, then you have to cover, girl. She's looking and watching the ball instead of being ready to cover for her teammates.
I think Coach White just said that almost word for word to her.
I'm talking as if I'm her teammate.
Uh-huh.
Side out, point. Set point, Lady Hornets.
A set point for Alabama State. They won the first set 25-15, looking to go up 2-0 on Prairie View A&M. As the junior setter, Mackenzie Bolin, puts the ball in play, and Prairie View A&M not going to go away that quick.
Doria Pearson, second team all SWAC, the only second teamer from Prairie View, and you can see her up in that front court, as well as Satara Carter, are really trying to get their teammates involved, keep the momentum going, and it was a great swing by Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson close to the top of the conference in kills this season, 5 for her. She leads Prairie View A&M on the night. Nice hustle, a touch on it, and the Lady Panthers send the free ball over, keep the rally going. Alabama State out of the middle. They have got kills from every position in this set.
Prairie View definitely needs to have a little bit more discipline and know what they want to do with the ball. In that last play, Skyla Childs, free ball over to the libero when you need to place that ball in a position and give your team a chance.
Welcome back to Itta-Bena, Mississippi, Missouri Valley State. The SWAC Volleyball Championship. We are glad you're joining us. I'm Dawn Davenport alongside Bailey Webster, and Alabama State wins that second set after winning the first set as well, and they're really getting an attack from everywhere, from their outsides, from their middle, even when they're out of system, from their back row. What is it that they're doing so well, and what does Prairie View A&M have to do better?
Alabama State is controlling their side of the court. Everyone's doing exactly what they need to do. They're following the game plan. You can obviously see they had one, serving the certain players that they need to serve. Offensively, Bailey Bennett carrying, but Bolin has done a great job distributing the ball, and then you have your backcourt giving her good balls to set. So everything that they wanted to do, they are doing so far this set.
You talk about giving good balls to set. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, but those passes, you're going to notice it in these highlights. They are right on to where they are able to have all options from a setting standpoint. Now you look at the kills, you've got Bennett with 11 and Young with 7. Then after that, Terrell with 4.
Yes, you can see they did well from the service line. Setting right there by Bolin, setting her pin hitters up with great balls. Cottingham on the pins. Still have Bailey Bennett doing a great job. But as you see right there, Bailey Bennett just leading her team. Very consistent, hitting .348, 11 kills. Done a great job for the Lady Hornets.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers from this match so far as Alabama State leads this match 2-0, and I think the thing that stands out to probably a lot of us, it's the number of kills, but it's also that hit percentage. And if you're not familiar with what hit percentage is, it factors in errors, total attempts, and all of that, and I think that's where maybe we are seeing a little bit of a difference with Alabama State and Prairie View in those numbers. Alabama State is hitting .333, which is pretty good at this point in the match.
That's very good. Typically, on average, coaches like to see their team hitting above .320 and keeping your opponent below 200. And right there, that's what they're doing, hitting .333, and Prairie View A&M hitting in the hundreds. They're going to definitely need to pick that hitting percentage up if they want a chance to pull this off in this fourth set.
You know, we talked about how comfortable Alabama State is with being here. You know, this is their, sixth straight time they've played in this game. For Prairie View A&M, not the case. Maybe emotions are getting to them because the last time they were here, the last time they won the SWAC, guess what? That was 2006. Oh, and by the way, that's when head coach Tacho Tyler played on this team. Not only did she play on this team, her assistant, Tamika Newman, also played on this team in 2006, and that's the last time Prairie View A&M won a SWAC title. She told us there is nothing more that she wants than to bring a title back home as a coach for this program in her school.
Exactly. It means a lot more to Coach Tyler to bring it back as a coach and not as a player. Both inducted to the Hall of Fame, and so there's a lot of pressure riding on this. You get a bid to the NCAA tournament. You bring a championship home to Prairie View, which they haven't done in 13 years. These girls, you have some seniors. It's maybe their last match. They want to do this for their teammates, but you cannot let your emotions get the best of you, especially when you're on a big stage like this, because it only increases when you get to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, Coach Tyler became an assistant in 2007 right after she was done playing. So she said she's been chasing it ever since. And there she is, Tacho Tyler, her 5th season as the head coach for the Lady Panthers. Inducted into the school's Hall of Fame back in 2016 and was the SWAC tourney MVP in 2006. We'll see if Prairie View A&M can get those emotions in check and push this into a longer match. Now, these two teams have met twice this year, and they split those meetings. Prairie View A&M won 3-2 in September, and then in October, Alabama State won 3-1. So they're pretty familiar with each other, and they have split in matches that have gone a little bit longer.
Very smart play by Victoria Pearson right there. I would suggest that they just start taking the swings. At this point, you have nothing to lose, and hitting at those, finding those seams, finding those angles. But right there, she didn't have it, so it was really smart of her to find the middle of the court.
Jakarta Hope, the 5'4" freshman out of Texas. Her nickname is Boogie. Puts the ball in play for Prairie View A&M. Nice dig. Alabama State sends it back over, and a nice rally. Melanie Arenas with a kill.
A nice bump set right there by Skyla Childs. I want to say she's second or third, leading her team in assists, because she's doing a great job from that backcourt, getting the ball to her hitters.
Prairie View A&M with the early lead in this match. With a touch called there.
Cottingham has done a great job so far through these first two sets, and just being consistent and taking a swing when she has it. And that's what I advise. You don't need to swing on every single ball, but when you have it, go for it. It's hard for a team to constantly keep digging hard and aggressive swings like that.
Although Coach White did tell us that Tyra Cottingham hits the ball so hard she'll knock the leather off of it. She's never seen anyone hit the ball so hard. The out-of-system ball. Prairie View A&M able to make something of it. They get the free ball to work with. A quick set, a little off, but it still works. And Pearson with the kill.
There's a lot going on in that rally right there. Ball playing a little too close to the net, but Prairie View was able to come out on top.
Yeah, the two Alabama State blockers there and ready for that quick set. Just a little off, and there you go. Again, Bailey Bennett off the block for a kill. Bennett, the 5'8" senior out of Chicago, Illinois. Broken every record in their books. They're certainly putting on a show here tonight for us.
You can tell Prairie View, during that mini halftime, they definitely discussed and have made some adjustments. Right now, their offense is going through Victoria Pearson. And as long as her hand is hot right now, I just keep getting it to her. So they can definitely keep themselves in this match.
Pearson just putting that ball in play, so she is on the back row right now. But Coach said, you need a kill. She's the one we go to. Nice touch, nice defense from Prairie View A&M. Those blocks for the Lady Panthers, getting hands on those balls, and that helped them.
Yeah, it definitely is helping them. You can tell the ball is going to Bailey a lot, so they're starting to cheat out there to the pins. But Bailey has to keep that speed in her approach. Right there, she's tired, I'm sure, but it was more of a lazy swing where you just take a step close and try to get the ball over on your way down. She needs to keep the speed going because she was unstoppable when she does that.
Well, she does get the kill there. Had a team-high 16 kills in their semifinal win over Alabama A&M. There's a big Lady Hornet block.
Hannah Stupian is great out of the middle. She can jump so high, but right there you have two blockers up, so you have to hit at those angles and not hit straight on.
Kamari Terrell with the block for Alabama State.
Prairie View had some momentum on their side. They've been through this before. Coach Tyler talked about how they were down by in two sets when they first played Alabama State. So they know this is possible, that they can come back if they rally and get things going.
Erica Jimenez puts the ball in play for the Lady Panthers. Their 6-2 system. She's setting out of the back row. She sends it outside. Now sends it back. That ball will find the inline. Alabama State points. What's at stake here? Well, the winner gets to go play in the NCAA tournament. And that is so exciting. It's what every student athlete aspires to be able to do.
Exactly. I think everyone has that thought in the back of their mind when they decide where they want to go to college, when a coach schedules who they want to play in their non-conference matches in the beginning of the season, RPI, everything matters. Your conference wins and losses, so this means a lot because once you get into that tournament, anything goes. You can upset anyone at that point.
Tracy Hope, the third. Tie-down, point.
The VIAC Championship is coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern. Howard will take on Morgan State on ESPNU. Morgan State upset Southern Division top seed North Carolina A&T State in a 5-setter.
Quick shout out to Morgan State, being that I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, a very well-known college. A lot of history behind these HBCUs, historically black universities, and we have two great universities playing in front of us today.
Alabama State gets that point. They take a 1-point lead over Prairie View A&M. A little change up from the Lady Hornets, and Tyra Cottingham with a kill.
The Alabama State's outside hitters have been amazing for the Lady Hornets today. Cottingham positioning that ball in the deep court, very hard to dig. And then when she's not in the front row, you have Bailey Bennett, almost unstoppable.
Speaking of unstoppable, how about that swing from the 5'6" middle hitter for Prairie View A&M?
Hannah Estupian showed her hops right there, getting up and finding that open spot. Cottingham not able to close in and help out with the block.
32-inch vertical from Estupian. That's what your vertical was, right?
I'm very impressed. When you see the height on the roster, you're like, no way. And then when you see her in person, very impressive how she can get up and continuously get up against these big blockers.
Prairie View A&M certainly needing to get a big block up on Bailey Bennett. She now has 14 kills in this match for Alabama State.
Smart play by Jimenez. She's running around on that court. A little firecracker, but I just have to acknowledge what a pretty set that was during that rally. She got that coming from backcourt, pushed it to the front row. Very impressive.
Coach spoke so highly of her. Her 5'1" senior. She's been with Coach for 4 years. Talked about how well that she runs the floor and really how much this team trusts her. They know she's always going to leave it all out on the floor. They know she's going to do her best to get them the ball.
And being that she's a senior, I'm sure this match means a lot to her. A lot to the entire team, but a lot for those seniors. It could be her last match. It could not be. So you want to give it your all.
Well, nice swing from the outside from Krista Medeiros. You know, she really can move anywhere for Alabama State. Has hit out of the middle, has hit outside, has hit right side. She's one of the most versatile players I think I've seen.
Definitely a utility player, which you love to have at least one of those on your team. You never know what's going to happen with injuries or what the team will look like from the beginning of the season to the end. So to have a utility player like her, Medeiros, is I'm sure awesome for Coach White.
How hard is it? You were an outside hitter at the University of Texas, All-American. How hard is it to switch positions from a swinging, blocking standpoint?
Personally, from my personal perspective, it's very hard. I mean, after playing at University of Texas, once I went overseas, sorry, this is just such a great play right here. I want to acknowledge.
And there it is. It's yeah.
I had to point out what a great swing that was.
On the right side.
Yes. Yeah, I played right side professionally, and it's hard to adjust because you're swinging from a different side of the court. Your approach is different. Your block is different. The ball, the angle that the setter is giving the ball to you from, you have to adjust. I mean, there's so many different aspects. Playing in one position was enough in college, so the fact that Medeiros can do middle, outside, right side is very, very impressive and something important to have on a team.
Medeiros with 7 kills on the night, hitting .250 for them. Prairie View A&M takes the timeout, wants to stop this Alabama State momentum. The Lady Hornets leading this third set, 14-9. Welcome back to the SWAC Volleyball Championship on ESPN. Alabama State looking for a sweep, leading this third set 14-9. Hornet mascot chillin'. Check out this. Alabama State came in the 5 seed to this tournament, but they did that with 5 all SWAC members. They were picked preseason to win it all, and you can see why with some of that leadership and 5 all-conference members.
Yeah, the Lady Hornets have a lot of talent on their team, so a little surprising that they were number 5 seed. As Coach White mentioned, they had a lot of injuries, but you can tell coming out, I see why they were preseason. They were chosen to win in the preseason because they have Cottingham has showed up, Bailey Bennett has shown up, you have Elijah Young, you know, you can go, the list goes on and on. Bolin as your setter. They've had a great year to say what they've gone through in the beginning.
Yeah, and they started off SWAC play 1-4. Coach White was like, I hadn't lost 4 conference games in 6 years combined, you know? So it was a tough start to the season for Alabama State. She talked so much about what a testament it is to these players and this team. They just dug in and fought and faced adversity and just kept playing. And she said to see them persevere has really been special.
Well, and just to reiterate, she's established that standard with her program. And so although things went awry in the beginning of the season, they still were expected to win. They have the talent, and now it's okay, let's adjust, make these adjustments, and still expect to be in the championship match.
I can understand why, too. I asked Coach, and you know her, at least ran into her when you're playing days with the national team. But, you know, I said, what is it that you love so much about coaching? And it was, I love, obviously, working with the young athletes, but she's like, I love the heat of the competition. I love it. I love dissecting other teams, seeing what we can do. I thrive on that competition. And you can see that carry over to her team.
You can. Both coaches standing up almost the entire match, almost on the court, trying their best to retain all of that energy, but they were once there in that same position, and you can tell they want to win this just as much as the players on that court.
And Prairie View A&M not going away. Look at that kill from Tamara Armstrong. And the out-of-system ball, the free ball to Prairie View A&M. Alabama State handles that, but not able to handle the tip over. Prairie View A&M with a point. They pull it to within 3 in this first set.
Tamia Hightower with a smart play and the walk-off after, but Prairie View is still in this, and you can tell they have a little bit of momentum. They're trying to keep things going to push it to a 4th set.
Alabama State head coach Penny Lucas White in her 9th season calls a timeout, wants to stop some momentum and talk about it just a little bit. Just a reminder, this is the SWAC championship, which means whoever wins this match right here is headed to the NCAA tournament. If you look at the road to the championship, the selection show coming December 1st, Sunday. ESPNU, definitely want to tune in for that. Of course, the regionals and the semifinals, the national championships, all broadcast across ESPN.
And you mentioned this earlier, Alabama State in 2017, they made it to the NCAA regionals. And so, although they're not new to being in the SWAC championship, but they also are used to being in the NCAA tournament. And they're almost, if they win this, that's going to become an expectation moving forward. So Coach Penny White has done a good job in giving these girls the idea that it's possible to get there, and you can go past the first and second round.
Big picture, newest top 25 comes out tomorrow. Now, last week, #1 team in the country was a team you're pretty familiar with since you played there in Texas. Just lost to Baylor, so we'll see where they fall. But it's fascinating this time of year, and we talked about the selection show, and I can't wait to watch that because you see seeds and who gets to host and how important the top 16 are. And obviously Texas probably not going to be the #1 overall team in the country.
Don't say that.
After the loss to Baylor, it was Pitt that was sitting at #2. Baylor was #3. So if there is a good loss, that was a good loss.
Yeah, it was a great match. Loss in 5 in front of a crowd of almost 8,000, record at Baylor Gymnasium. But they're great teams. And what I noticed this year is that it can be anyone's game. As I mentioned before with these ladies in the SWAC championship, this year has been interesting where there's not a set 3-team where we know who's going to be in that championship match. It can be anyone's game. There's talent across all of the conferences. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the selection show and who comes out on top.
I think that just speaks to the growth of this game in general. How amazing it is to see.
I agree. And just from within the last 5 years, so much has changed, but for the better. Merely just seeing volleyball on TV a lot more. A lot of younger girls are being aware of it, and they want to play not just basketball or other sports, but get involved and see how fun this sport is to watch and play.
When you watching this SWAC championship, you feel the energy too. That it's fast. You got to be athletic. You got to be on your toes. There's no breaks ever. It's just such a fun game. Whew, Alabama State. She tried to turn line. That one just out of bounds, but wow, that was a swing.
Yeah, I felt my hair greased a little bit. Their breeze went by, but that was smart of Victoria Pearson. She had her foot right on that out of bounds line, which helped her.
Alabama State going in the middle. The tip falls. It's a kill for Alasia Young. She didn't look too happy about it. I think she wanted to swing. There's that 32-inch vertical from Hannah Stupian. 5'6" freshman with a kill out of the middle.
She holds her own out of that middle right there. She's smart in the way she swings. I'm sure she's used to a bigger block, and so the advantage of that is that you have to play the game and be smart about where you put the ball.
5 kills for Stupian. And the net call on Prairie View A&M will give the point to Alabama State.
Coach Penny White feeling it. She sees the light at the end of the tunnel. 5 points till this game is over, but Prairie View in it. Stupian right there with that speed on the slide.
And that was something that Coach Tyler pointed out to us was one of her strengths, and we really haven't seen her run that slide a ton here today, but it certainly worked that time.
And I'm sure it's an advantage because as fast as she is, if you see her feet, she's able to get off the net very quickly, and if you can run a slide, you're swinging before the block even sets up.
Oh, a nice choice on the tip, and that will give Prairie View A&M a free ball to work with. She'll go to the middle, and Satara Carter with a kill.
Satara wants to push this to a 4th set so badly, as you see right there. Her teammate, Erica Jimenez, looking for her to bring that senior leadership and bring that energy and push through.
Setters out. The bump set to Carter. Alabama State handles. Nice rally. And a big block. There's the emotion. Carter and Stupian.
Nice block right there by Satara Carter. And Stupian really closing in on that block and slowing Medeiros down. And Satara Carter is saying, ladies, let's go. Give it all you have. You can tell from her energy.
Another free ball to work with. A perfect pass. Alabama State handles. Oh, Skylar Childs has been phenomenal in the back row for Prairie View A&M. She keeps this rally going again. That ball's tight. Childs, the bump set to the outside, and a nice hustle from the Lady Hornets. And it is Alabama State who's able to put it away.
Nice rally by both teams. Right there by Alabama State, able to just kind of steady it out. You see Bolin pushing that nice ball out to Medeiros, but Prairie View doing a good job of just really trying to scrape for each point.
8 kills on the night for Medeiros. Head coach Tacho Tyler with a timeout trying to stop this momentum. Alabama State won the first set 25-15. They won the second set 25-20. Now leading Prairie View A&M in this third set 22-19. This is best of 5. Alabama State looking for the sweep in the conference championship.
If Alabama State were to win this match, they would have beaten the #1 and the #2 seeds. So that just says a lot about their perseverance and how much they've had to overcome to get to that point. And the good thing about that is when you go into the NCAA tournament, you've gone through all of these ups and downs, that you feel invincible, that you can overcome anything and play anyone.
Now on the other side for Prairie View A&M, if you're Coach Tyler, what are you telling your team right now? You're down 22-19. You're trying to extend this match. What's your advice?
Coming out of this timeout is a very pivotal point. It can make or break them, and as right now, I give them as much confidence as possible and say, hey, we're right in this. Just serve, receive, get the ball back, and let's run our offense. Don't worry about what they're doing on their side. Don't worry about the score. 1 point at a time.
For Alabama State, Krista Medeiros, the senior outside hitter, middle blocker, right side, wherever Coach needs her to play, that's where she's playing. She has been so good. Coach said she's a big reason why we're here, and she's really stepped up in these last 2 sets for them.
She has. I can't keep up where she is on the court. She's just done a great job. No matter where they put her, she's been consistent. And it's always good to have somebody that's consistent. As I said, having a utility player like that, someone you can depend on, I'm sure Coach White is very grateful to have her on her team.
8 kills, 3 digs in this championship game. Had an injury that caused her to miss some of this season, but has been back the last 5 matches and back in a big way, and she's the middle of that big block.
Yeah, you had 3 blockers up. That's a tough one for anybody, for any middle, regardless of height.
Really diagnosed what was coming on the other side. And a nice try by Jimenez, but just can't get that ball to go. And now we are match point for Alabama State.
Lady Hornets.
Nice hustle from Prairie View A&M. Well, that ball hit the line judge, so clearly out of bounds. Hey, that was a nice outside the line judge, right?
That was a great up.
She was fine. She was laughing about it.
Yeah, Cottingham wanted that one a little bit too much.
Match point number 2 for Alabama State. And they will get it off of Tyra Cottingham. Didn't get it that first time, but she got it there.
What a great win for Alabama State. Their 4th consecutive SWAC championship, being led by Coach Penny White and Bailey Bennett on the outside. Cottingham as well.
Alabama State, they came in as the 5 seed, knocked off the 1 seed on the way to the championship game, and now they have swept the 2 seed in Prairie View A&M. What a year for the Alabama State Lady Hornets. They are your 2019 Southwestern Athletic Conference champions. Alabama State, your SWAC champions, Tyra Cottingham finishes it off. Welcome back to Itta, Mississippi, where Alabama State, oh yeah, they're your new SWAC champions for 2019 with a 3-0 sweep of Prairie View A&M. The team celebrating, they've got their t-shirts and their hat, and so does Bailey Bennett with an amazing performance, the senior that led this team in kills senior year, and you guys come in as a 5 seed. I know it faced a lot of adversity. What does this mean to you in your senior year?
It means so much, just for the simple fact that we had so many struggles at the beginning. We worked so hard in practice, worked so hard during the game, and it's so rewarding to just be able to come in here and be the 5th seed and actually come out on top.
Now, not only does it, what does it mean winning the SWAC championship, but getting that bid to the NCAA tournament. Can you kind of talk about that?
It's very exciting. It's such a great feeling just to know that we actually are able to support the SWAC and represent the SWAC in the NCAA tournament. It's really exciting, and we can't wait to figure out who we play.
16 kills, 11 digs. You hit 256 today. I know you had 16 kills yesterday, too. Obviously feeling it. What was the key to your success swinging today?
Just going up and trying to put the ball down every chance I could. I was trying to work hard for my team. Like I said, we worked hard for this in practice, and I did this for my team and for the 4-peat.
Yeah, and your team also had a great performance as well as far as bowling, getting those balls to you. Can you kind of talk about the injuries you guys went through, going through setters, and Mackenzie Bowling getting 2nd team all SWAC and able to deliver that ball to you on the outside?
Yeah, I'm so proud of Mackenzie. We started off running the 6-2 at the beginning of the season, and I just knew we were going to win in the 5-1, and I told Kenzie, you can do it. I had faith in her, and I knew she was going to deliver. So I'm really proud of her.
Certainly did, and Alabama State certainly delivered. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you want to go celebrate with your teammates, so we're going to let you do that. How's that? All right, Bailey Bennett, what a game from the senior outside hitter from Chicago, Illinois. 16 kills, 11 digs, and Alabama State sweeps. They are your 2019 SWAC volleyball champions. For Bailey Webster and our entire crew, I'm Dawn Davenport saying so long from Itta Bena, Mississippi.